Hey Jason, how you doing? I agree. Iteration process. I think it's a blast. It's one of my favorite things to do in design. So I totally agree with that comment, your first comment. And then your second comment, I think, has a lot of relevance too, because really, in essence, this is one of your goals is not to use the same style. Think about it from your client's perspective. And as a designer, you should always think about your decisions from your client's perspective, or your art director or creative director's perspective, but ultimately your client's perspective. Sometimes you have to show some empathy. You have to kind of put the shoes on of your client and look at your work and say, how is my client going to see this? You look at it as a client and you say, okay, if the style is the same for many of the iterations, you're not providing your client enough variety. And the client is certainly going to look at a group of sketches where that are possibilities, final possibilities for their logo, their word mark, and their monogram, and they're going to say, hey, I need to see variety. These all look too close. And I'm 10 times out of 10, the client is going to come back and do that if the sketches are too similar. I guarantee you that's the truth. So you definitely want to shoot for variety. Let's jump over to the sketches. All right, a couple of things that are working out very well, and I do think that on this right-hand two columns, you're giving a lot of good variation. The best, the most effective thing that you've done here is you've labeled these, and you've heard me say this, or if you've listened to some of the other critiques, you've heard me say that that's very important because that's showing a connection between your word list, which is the data extraction from the words that you use to create meaning for your client. So you're showing a connection between your visual representation here and the meaning that you have generated and assigned to your client, as opposed to what? As opposed to just arbitrarily sketching with no intent of creating meaning or connecting meaning based on your data extraction for the client. Okay, really, really important concept in logo development and symbolism alike. Okay, so as I said, the good news is the right column is done very well. The bad news is that nothing in these left two columns can be used. So we've got 10 sketches that have to be replaced. Why do you ask? Because these are not word marks. Jason, these are monograms, all right? Now, to note the difference, please go through the course materials and really pay attention to the differences between word marks, logo marks, and monograms. It's of critical importance. Okay, word marks is this. It's the whole word. It can just be Guardian. It can be Guardian Network Security. But it can't be GNS because that is a monogram. All right, so what I would need to do is this. We got two things to do. For your final submission here, in your final final milestone submission for task one, you'll want to replace these all with formal word marks and get rid of I don't get rid of these completely. Save them because you can reuse these next week when we go into our monogram design. But for this week, I need to see actual word marks here. So we're short 10 sketches here. All right. And then as far as that's the first thing we have to do. The second thing we have to do is we have to decide a visual direction to take these. Now, I say that you just really need to sit down, take a look at your work, take a look at the words that you're using, and really try to determine what is the strongest tie between the meaning you've created for your client and the word and the tie, the glue that holds those two together. Find the strongest connection and go with that. You may not have it here yet. It could come in the next stage when you develop these next 10 word marks. So those are my recommendations moving forward. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know. I'll be glad to address. All right, good job. Thank you very much.